Hello, Poke People. How's it going? I'm going to be back at you guys with another deck list. Today we're going to look at Dragapult EX. This is Michael's favorite deck. Dragapult is a card that was pretty hyped when it first came out, although we didn't have very reliable ways to get this one fire, one psychic energy onto it, so it kind of became like, yeah, it's good, but it's kind of too slow, can't really use it. Blah blah blah, and then Stellar Crown came out, gave us some new little tips and tricks that we can use for it. We got Sparkling Crystal, and then we got the Crispin Supporter card, which I believe was in Stellar Crown, or it was in, it was in Stellar Crown as well. I was trying to remember if it was in that or Shattered Fable, but yeah, we basically got two cards that say, hey, your Dragapult can get powered up in one turn now. Here you go, have fun, kid. So, looking at the deck, we basically want to be using the Phantom Dive attack to do 200 damage, and then we can place 6 damage counters wherever we want on our opponent's field. That's what we're going to do to use to set up to snipe off unevolved basic Pokemon, or we're going to put damage counters on things to bring them in range of knockouts for other things later on in the game. We're doing the straight Pidgeot Dragapult build with no Dusknoir. Instead, I have the Radiant Alakazam to move damage counters around, and I have the Hawlucha. So if you're going first and your opponent puts down some 70 HP basics and they think that they're safe, you can turn 2, put this onto your bench, put 2 damage on 2 things. You can Phantom Dive and put 6 damage counters on that unevolved basic with 70 HP, knocking it out, which is pretty crazy. So we're going to go into the deck list. We've got 3 Dragapult, 3 Dracloak, and 4 Dreepy. It's a pretty heavy line. You could slim this down to 2 Dracloaks, but I like the 4-3-3 line just because I don't like relying on rare candy when we have other things in the deck that we're also trying to rare candy. And it's okay if you have a bit of a slower start because we have counter catchers and stuff in this deck to make up for that. So of course we have a 2-2 Pidgeot line. We're going to use the 60 HP Pidgey because I don't believe we have a 70 HP one yet. And it'd be really cool if we did. We have the 1 Hawlucha, which has the flying entry ability. When you play it from your hand down onto the bench, you can put 10 damage on 2 objects. There are things that have 210 HP, like Pheasantipity, so you could boss it up. You could, or before you boss, you can play this down. You can put 10 damage on 2 things on the bench. One of them is the Fez. You can bring it up, and then you can Phantom Dive for 200 for the knockout, spreading your 6 damage counters to set up for later things. We have the Radiant Alakazam that allows you to move 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another one of their Pokemon. So if you need some damage that's on your opponent's board to go to something else to get a knockout, you can scoot that stuff over and make sure that you don't miss KOs. And we're also playing 1 Luminion, 1 Rotom V. That's just our consistency cards. Most of the time going first, since you can't evolve. You're going to want to, and we're not going first, you're not, TM Evoing or anything, so we're going to play Instant Charge, draw 3 cards, and then hope our opponent lets us keep a large hand size. And then Luminion is just going to give us another route to access a Forest Seal Stone. Besides the Rotom, and being able to search out for a critical supporter is good. So we're going to have 3 Fire and 3 Psychic Energy. That's basically all the deck needs. That's all we'll really ever need. Going up would take out too many important slots of things that we have in here. Playing 2 stadiums. I'm playing Pokemon League Headquarters, and I'm playing Temple of Sinnoh. Jamming Tower has been making its way into a lot of people's decks. They're using it as text for shutting down Dragapult and other various tool cards that are important. So you definitely want a Stadium Bouncer. The Pokemon League Headquarters is great. This is really good against Raging Bolt. If you can put this down and make his attack cost 1 more, that basically shuts off their ability to attack every single turn. So if you hold this until mid or late game when you know they've already played a Pokestop and maybe they've thrown one away or Pokestopped one away and you think they don't have any left, or maybe they only play 2 or all 3 are down, you slap that on there, and now their route to victory is that much harder because they can't attach Sada and then just swing, because now their basic Raging Bolt's attacks now cost 3 instead of 2. So you're throwing off their math, just completely shutting down the deck's ability to trade back and forth with you for knockouts. And then the Temple of Sinnoh, of course, is for Lugia to deal with it and all of its nonsense. So, that's it for the Pokemon Stadiums and Energy cards. Let me scoop all this up real quick, nice and orderly. And then we'll get on to items and supporter cards. Supporters, we're of course going to play 4 Arven, because why would we play any less than that? We're going to play 3 Iono, because like I said, our opponents are going to kind of get ahead of us at a time. Just because we're an evolution deck, you know, if they're playing like a big basic turbo deck, they're going to knock some stuff out before we really get the ball rolling. And plus with Dragapult, there's really a lot of scenarios where you can just set up these 5-6 prize turns even, if your math is right. It not so much as when you're playing the Dusknoir build. That is kind of ridiculous. I think Dusknoir is like an insane card, and really, my opinion is that it should have an errata done to its ability that says that you can't use this Pokemon's ability on the turn it came into play, because I think it's way too powerful and there's no form of interaction with it right now. So unless we get something besides the Gastrodon that just came out in Surging Sparks, because I don't think that it's good enough, because you have to evolve it. And if your opponent sees you put down a Shellos, they're just going to prioritize killing the Shellos, and you'll never get to your Gastrodon. And I'm not playing a Thornton to evolve into a Gastrodon, because it's not going to get you anywhere. So I think that the ability would have been much more balanced if it would have said that you can't do it on the turn that it was put into play, because that at least gives your opponent a turn to try and knock it out or try and prepare for the incoming Cursed Blast. Anyway, that's my tiny little rant about Dusknoir. But regardless, you're probably going to be behind on prizes, so on Iono, you're going to draw more and your opponent's going to draw less, and it's just an overall good situation for you. 2 Boss's Orders, 1 Professor's Turo scenario just to scoop up your Rotom V, your Luminion, anything that's heavily damaged. If you've got a big Dragapult that tanks a huge hit and you've got another one on the bench with the energy already on it, you could scoop up, attach for a turn, or if the one that you picked up, yeah, basically that, because you can't reuse Sparkling. Yeah, never mind. I'm forgetting, there's so many card effects that say pick up Pokemon, put it in your hand, and then some say discard everything else, some don't. I've played the game for a long time. I get a little confused sometimes. And then we have Crispin. Crispin is a great new supporter that lets you search your deck for 2 basic energy cards of different types. You put one onto a Pokemon on the field, or one to your active, whatever he says. Attach them to one of your Pokemon, yep. And then the other one just goes into your hand. So you basically can power up a Dragapult for free by playing this, because you put either the Psychic or Fire onto it, and then the other one into your hand, you attach for turn, and you're ready to go. Now, for item cards, we're going to play 4 Rare Candy, because of course we're a Stage 2 deck with a lot of Stage 2s that we want to get in play. We're going to play 4 Buddy Buddy Poffin, because getting our basics down is imperative to the game plan. We're going to play 3 Ultra Ball and 3 Nest Ball. You want to go first with this deck, and you also don't want to not have a way to search out your basics. So we're playing a large count of Pokemon search cards, because since you can't play a supporter on the first turn of the game anymore, you definitely don't want to whiff on getting a way to get your basics down, because of course on your next turn you can't evolve them if they weren't already in play for a turn, so we don't want to miss out on those things. Following, I have 2 Counter Catcher. Like I said, you're going to be behind on prizes most of the time, just because we're an evolution deck. We're spreading damage. We're not taking knockouts right away. We're setting up to take multiple prizes, so we'll probably be behind. So we want to have Counter Catcher to get those things that we want in the places they need to be. We're going to play 1 Open Vessel. There's a lot of 1-ofs in this deck, so just bear with me. 1 Lost Vacuum. There's not a lot of tool removal in the game right now. A lot of people aren't playing tool removal, and like I said, the jamming towers are really annoying stadium that can shut this deck down a little bit. There's other stadiums that we don't want our opponents to have. There's other tool cards that we don't want to swing into and activate. We don't want our opponent getting the benefit of. So just a Lost Vacuum can really help out in a lot of situations. Specifically, this really helps a lot in the Raging Bolt matchup, because they play, 3 big charms right now. So you can take those big charms off with the Lost Vacuum, and you can really, they do it to protect their Teal Mask Ogre Pawns, because if you say you spread 10 damage on 2 Teal, not even, because they Oh, I'm sorry. Let me double check, because I know Terra Pokemon prevent all damage, but is he damage or damage counters? And these are things that I should have read. Yeah, 1 damage counter. So you can definitely still do the Teal Mask. You can put 10 on 2 Teal Masks, and then later, if you can Lost Vacuum a Big Charm off of it if they try and protect it to keep it out of range of a Dragapult. And then you can Phantom Dive for a knockout, and then you can spread that 6 damage counters elsewhere. So this is definitely just another route for us to be able to maneuver and manipulate our damage counters into taking knockouts. 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball, just because when you have a lot of key Pokemon in the deck, we don't want to be missing out on a specific one or a specific thing. And this is also just another ball search card, so if you do a Nest Ball, you do a Buddy Buddy Poffin, and you look at your initial search and you say, oh shoot, I don't have my Luminion, I don't have my Rotom, I don't have my Alakazam V, I don't have my Hawlucha. You can grab it with this and just try and kind of keep the prizes from messing you over as they do. Forest Sealstone, just another consistency card. We can play it on our Luminion, we can play it on our Rotom. Grab any card out of our deck, we can get that rare candy that we're missing, we can get that piece. So like if you play down on your things, you have a Rotom V and you instant charge, it goes back over into your turn. You can attach this on there. You can go get that rare candy or that Pidgeot that you don't have to get Pidgeot evolved, and then you can use Quick Search to go get the other piece that you need to get a Dragapult, or you can search out and grab your Sparkling Crystal and things like that. So just more consistency cards. 1 Night Stretcher, just with only playing 6 energy, you might need to slap one back in your hand because you are running low late in the game, or you need one of your Pokemon that got discarded, or you need to just get something back up in your hand. This isn't the most super needed card in the deck, but I don't think there's a deck that won't ever play at least 1 Night Stretcher, because it's just a fantastic card. It's the same as when we used to have Rescue Stretcher. Every deck had it. We have 1 Rescue Board. Just because we have a few things that cost 1 retreat. We have the Hawlucha, Dragapult costs 1 retreat. We have, of course, Pidgeot's free retreat. We have the Sparkling Alakazam, or the Radiant one, is 2 retreats, so we can't use it on him. But the Hawlucha, the Luminion, the Rotom, all these things can utilize that. And we definitely want to be able to pivot around when we're playing. And then we're also playing Sparkling Crystal, because there's no other aspect that you should really be playing in this deck other than that. But basically, that's Dragapult. Michael's been playing the heck out of this deck. He really, really likes it. We kind of flop back and forth between playing this build and the Dusk Noir build. I feel like you have to play one or the other. I don't like the builds that have like Dusk Noir, Pidgeot, and Dragapult. I feel like it's too many stage 2s. It's too inconsistent. And then you're constantly like fighting with yourself. Like, I need Dragapult because he's my main attacker. I need Pidgeot because that's how I find all my pieces, and that's how I get whatever cards I need. But I also have to have a Duskull down because I'm going to want to do Dusknoir, and I'm going to do that play, and then I got to do that, and then I got to find Briar, and it's a lot of complication when you play 3 stage 2s in a deck, and it's just not the kind of headache that me or Michael really wants to deal with. So we kind of flip-flop back and forth, choosing between which one of these that we want to play. So that's it for the Dragapult deck list. Why don't you guys give it a try and tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments. Like the video if you like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next